Let's dive into one of the most powerful, but honestly one of the most misunderstood parts of filing your taxes: tax rebates. You can think of them as a secret discount code for your tax bill. And today, we're going to figure out exactly how to use it.
So just imagine this for a second. You've calculated all your income, you've claimed every single relief you're entitled to, and you're staring at your final tax amount. What if, right at that very last second, you could apply one last discount to slash that number? Well, that's the thing. You can. And that is exactly what a tax rebate is for. So, what is the tax rebate, really? It's a direct ringgit-for-ringgit reduction from the tax you actually owe the government. It's not a discount on your income. Nope. It's way better. It's like a special coupon you use right at the checkout to lower your final bill.
Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Hold on a minute, this sounds exactly like a tax relief. And you know what? That's a super common mix-up, but they are completely different animals. And knowing that difference is absolutely key.
Okay, here's the simplest way to think about it. A tax relief is like a store-wide sale. It lowers the price of everything before you even get to the checkout. It reduces your chargeable income. But a tax rebate, that's that special coupon you scan at the very end, on the final price, after the tax has already been calculated. One happens at the start, the other happens at the very end.
All right, so we get what a rebate is. Now for the million-dollar question. Who actually gets to use this amazing coupon? Let's get into the details and see if you qualify.
For us individual taxpayers here in Malaysia, it really boils down to three main types of rebates under the Income Tax Act. There's a rebate for yourself, one you might get for your spouse, and then there's a rebate for any zakat or fitra you've paid.
Now, when we talk about the individual and spouse rebates, your eligibility pretty much hangs on one single crucial number. If you know this number, you could be unlocking some serious savings.
And here it is, 35,000 ringgit. That is the magic number. If your chargeable income, and remember that's your income after all your reliefs have been deducted, is RM 35,000 or less, then you are in the game for these rebates. It's basically the government's way of giving a little extra help to lower and middle income earners. So, what's the prize? Well, if you meet that RM $35,000 threshold, boom, you can claim an RM 400 individual rebate. And get this, if you're also entitled to the spouse relief, you can claim another RM 400. That's a potential $800 sliced directly off your final tax bill.
Okay, but that third rebate, the zakat rebate, it plays by a completely different set of rules. Unlike the other two, it has absolutely nothing to do with that RM $35,000 income level.
The zakat rebate is super straightforward. If you paid RM 500 in zakat during the year, you can claim an RM 500 rebate. It's a one-to-one match. The only limit is that your rebate can't be more than your total tax. So yeah, it can bring your tax all the way down to zero, but you won't get a refund if you paid more zakat than you owe in tax. Okay, so we know the what and the who. Now for the most important part, the how. Let's walk through exactly where these rebates fit into the whole tax calculation process. Listen, the order you do things in is absolutely crucial. Deducting your tax rebates is the final step, always. First, you figure out your total income, then you subtract your reliefs, then you apply the tax rates to get your initial tax bill. Only then, at the very end of the whole process, do you apply that powerful rebate discount. All this theory is great, but seeing the actual numbers makes it click. So let's run through a quick example to see the incredible impact a rebate can really have.
All right, so here we've got someone with a total income of RM $60,000. After they deduct RM $25,000 in various reliefs, their chargeable income lands right on the dot at RM $35,000. Now, based on the official tax rates, their initial tax payable comes to RM $600.
And what do we know about that RM $35,000 number? Ding, ding, ding. That's our magic number, isn't it? Because their chargeable income is exactly RM 35,000, they are definitely eligible for that individual rebate.
So now it's time for the fun part. We take their RM 600 tax bill and we apply that fantastic RM 400 coupon right at the end. Let's see what happens.
And just like that, their tax bill gets slashed from RM 600 all the way down to just RM 200. That's the power of a tax rebate. In this case, it's a direct reduction of over 66%. Amazing!
But wait, what if we could take it even further? Remember, you can combine rebates. So what happens if the same person also paid RM 200 in zakat during that year? Well, we just apply the second rebate. We take that remaining RM200 of tax they owe and subtract the RM200 zakat rebate. The final tax payable becomes 0. Zilch, nada. They legally owe nothing in income tax for the year. It's a perfect example of how rebates can work together to completely eliminate a tax bill.
Okay, that was a lot to take in, I know. So let's boil it all down into a few key takeaways to make sure this all sticks with you.
So here's a quick cheat sheet. You've got the individual and spouse rebates, both worth RM400, and both kick in if your chargeable income is RM35,000 or less. And then there's the zakat rebate, which matches the actual amount you paid, but it's capped at your total tax. Simple, clear, and really powerful.
So if you remember nothing else, please remember these 4 things. 1. Rebates reduce your final tax bill. 2. RM35,000 is the magic number for those individual and spouse rebates. 3. Rebates can bring your tax down to 0, but you won't get a refund. And 4, most importantly, always apply rebates last.
And that brings us right to the end, with one last thing to think about. You've worked hard all year earning your money, and you've done the hard work of filing your taxes. The only question left is, have you claimed your final well-deserved discount?